Hey everyone, this is John Paul Gonzalez, and this is going to be my geography in a backyard project. I decided to go to Westcreek Park because it's more convenient for me. It was not so far from my home, walking distance. Today I'll be talking about some of the stream processes and some of the weathering process due to the rock. Thank you for listening, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. Alright, this is a creek, a stream that goes through the park. And what happens is when it rains, either the water could infiltrate or it's going to run off. So when the water runs off, it can only go downhill. So downhill is going to be that way. And it's eventually going to stop. As the water stops at its stopping point, it's eventually called a floodplain. And either water will keep going down or it's going to evaporate. But majority of it will end up infiltrating through the ground. Those little areas right there, an observation I noticed is that you could tell by how high the water gets when it floods based on the color. As you can see, this stream is not moving. The bigger and faster the stream moves, the more particles it could carry. So you can see over here that is where the particles have ended up, and there's also some over here in the stream that it had carried through the storm. As you can notice right here is that the stream takes a curve that way. What is happening right here is there's an obstacle in the way, such as that tree and that debris right there, that makes the stream take another turn. This process is called a meandering stream. The thing about this stream is that it starts over there, and then some of it has ended right here, but then it starts again over there. What this is called is a cutoff. So the stream is cut off from the majority of the water, and it's eventually has stopped. This is an example I found of an Oxbow Lake. It's a dried out stream that's curved, and it eventually reaches the main stream, which takes it to its endpoint, such as the lake and the ponds. The thing about water, it's the most important feature to erosion and weathering process. Water breaks up material to smaller and smaller pieces, such as these rocks, and these rocks could turn, as the rocks break down, they turn into smaller and smaller particles. Those particles could eventually be used as soil and make it a finer material. Another part of geography is erosion, such as weathering. Weathering happens when rock are being broken up into smaller and smaller pieces of rock. This is an example of physical weathering. This tree right here is pushing up against these rocks right here to split in half. Eventually that rock is going to break off. When that rock breaks off, it could fall and hit another rock, and that rock breaks. And it just makes it smaller and smaller and smaller. Here's a bigger example of some erosion that has happened. Another way that these rocks could be broken off is all these rocks have little teeny tiny cracks in them. And when those cracks full of water, it doesn't freeze much in Texas, but when it does, that water is going to expand the crack. And so forth, that water is going to keep expanding it. And when it expands far enough, the rock will eventually break off. Here are examples of some cracks that are in the rocks that are being broken off. It looks like this one's going to break off soon. See right there, it's barely hanging on right there. Will end up eroding so far that it could end up making a little indent in the rock, kind of like this, kind of looks like a cave. This rock has truly eroded very, very much, as the rock has broken down because of some of the trees here. Alright everyone, this is going to conclude my project. Thank you for watching to the end. I hope you were able to understand me and I was making sense. Thank you, and everyone stay safe. Goodbye.